Hi and welcome to another battle report. This is 2500 points between my Lizardmen and his Chaos Warrior. So we're playing the Dawn Attack scenario, so we have to roll for which side of the table, which part of the table we deploy in. And this is my army. I have, to the left I have 10 skinks, then I have a Razordon, a Bastiodon, a Salamander, a unit of 20 swords with a Scarvet with hand weapon and shield in it, then a bunker of 10 skinks full command with my BSB in it, and my level 2 Lord of Heavens with Ice Shard and Chain Lightning. Then I got another Salamander, a big unit of Saurus Warrior with Spear with my 2 Old Blood in it. One of them have the Sword of Anti-Heroes and Dragon Helm, and the other one have Sword of Might and Enchanted Shield and Dawnstone. Then I have a Skink Chief on a Pterodon, and behind that a Troglodon. So here is where my Old Blood went with the Sword of Anti-Heroes. Behind him I have a level 2 Lord of Heavens with Ice Shard and Harmonic. And then I have another Skink Chief on a Pterodon. Then I have scouted in the upper corner there some chameleon skinks, and for his left flank he have a unit of 5 Chaos Knights full command, or they didn't have musician, but they are Mark of Nurgle, even though they look like Mark of Corn, but they are in a disguise. And then you have 2 Juggernaut units with Banner and Champion, and then you have a General, and unfortunately for him he rolled up him to this table edge, and he have Chaos Armor, Shield, a 4-up ward and Crown of Command. On his other flank he have 2 units of Chaos Warrior, also Mark of Nurgle. He have his BSB unit, he have some equipment but I don't know what, and he have a Exalted Hero in the other unit. To the left he have a Sword of Strife, and then you have some Chaos Knights, Mark of Nurgle. Well, I deploy first and he didn't roll a 6, so I take the first turn. So the first thing I do is take my chameleon skinks up there and trying to snipe out his general. The next thing I do is basically reposition my army. My big source block sidestep 2 inches to allow my Old Blood to join them, and pushes up my flying Pterodon Rider a bit, but nothing special on this flank. And well, on the other flank I don't move a lot. My Razordon gets into range, my Bastiodon move forward into range, and that's it for my movement. Well, for magic I start by throwing off Chain Lightning on his Chaos Knight, and as you can see they are gone because they all died, and his Nurgle Warrior in front of them suffers some wounds too. And I roll a miscast and I get off magic feedback, and he suffers a wound, and he suffers a wound. With the 2 remaining dice I had left, I throw all on the laser cannon. He dispelled it, shooting was ineffectual. I think the Razordon takes out 1 Chaos Warrior. The chameleon skink didn't actually take a wound on his general. So for his turn you can see he just pushes up everything. His Chaos Lord strangely just back off away from my chameleon skinks instead of just running forward towards my line, so I'm gladly sacrificing 2 units of chameleon skinks to stop his general from getting into a fight. And you can see his Juggernaut is very close to each other. You will see later in the game why it's a mistake to put 2 Frenzy units so close to each other. And here is why it's a mistake to put his Juggernaut so close to each other. Now one of them have to charge that flying chieftain and then overrun and getting a very weird positioning. My Chameleon Kings also walk away from his Chaos Lord and gonna shoot at something over here. My Pterodon moves up and drop a rock on the Chaos Knights, but it doesn't do anything. Here is the move on my other flank. I don't do much, just fixing my position for my Salamander to go forward and spit fire on his Chaos Warrior, but also being in having to roll pretty high to make that charge. My Bastiladon backs up, and as you see in the left corner of this picture, my skinks are turned backward, and that's because they are fleeing, because they went into that forest, which turned out to be a venom forest, so they failed a leadership test and they run away. And I move my Razordon up here to maybe chef him next turn. In the medic phase I get off Chain Lightning on his Skullcrushers. It didn't do anything. He's bounced to the next Skullcrush unit, it didn't do anything, and over to his Chaos Knights, and it killed 2 of them. And he tried to dispel that with all he got, he failed. Then I shoot a laser cannon at his Skullcrusher to the left, I think, and I did 2 wounds to them. And in shooting phase I didn't do much. I kill off some Chaos Warrior with the Razordon and Salamanders. One Salamander eats all of its crew, but since I passed my leadership test, it acts as normal anyway. So over to the Chaos player's turn 2. His Chaos Warrior to the left tried to shot my Salamander, needed a double 6 and he failed it and didn't get there. His other Chaos Warrior shot as my Saurus Warriors and he needed a 9 and he gets it, so that's good for him. On his other flank, his Chaos Knights just pushed forward. One of his Skullcrush units charges my Chief, and his General failed a charge needing level 6 into my Chameleon King's flank. And while his Skullcrushers killed the Skink Chief in a challenge with his champion, and his champion gained 1+ toughness. This combat was a little bit more troublesome for me because if he breaks, you get into a brilliant position for him. So I activate the Troglodon's ability to get me Predatory Fighter on a 5-up instead, and in the combat his character kills my champion and gains 2 overkill. He didn't manage to do anything to the unit itself. I kill 1 or 2 of him. I lose by I think 4 in the end. And I roll the leadership test and I pass, so the Saurus Warrior holds. So for the Lizardmen turn 3, I get off the beautiful flank charge of his Skullcrusher with my Saurus Warriors. One of my Chameleon Kings can move out of sight of his Chaos Lord and I'm gonna shoot him again. The other one just back off, giving him a long charge to make it to them, and I'm gonna shoot at the Skullcrusher who are not in combat. I also move my Pterodon Chieftain to block his Chaos Knights from charging in to the flank of my Saurus Warriors. On the other flank, I send in my Bastiladon and my Troglodon into that Chaos Warrior block. I take out my Razordon to chaff up his other Chaos Warrior units from doing some flank charging. I closely move my Salamander into better fire positioning at his Chaos Warrior, and my fleeing skinks didn't manage to rally this turn either. Well, in the magic phase, I get off Ice Shard on his Chaos Warrior, but with the 4 dice I throw at it, I roll double 6 and a miscast and get another magical feedback, and that just kills both my level 2s. Well, in the closing combat, I do manage to break him. His Exalted Hero goes up against my Scarvet, and he do a wound to him, but he survived. And well, I break him, but I couldn't catch him with anything, so he got away. Well, in the combats over here, he could not. He take a challenge with his champion, my general, except he couldn't wound my general, and my general do 1 wound to him. I win by static combat res, he breaks, his banner guy die, and I will run into the next unit. Well, I do not know why this weird light occur on some of the picture, but it just is. But with this picture I'm just gonna show that his Chaos Warrior rally and the other one slams into my Lizardmen. His Chaos Knight slams into my Skink Chief. So over to combat. In this combat I almost kill the champion. I take 2 wounds on him with my general. My other Skyweight takes 2 wounds on the unit, so 1 of them died. And the Saurus Warrior do nothing to him. I think kill 7 of mine. I do think I win by 1, but he sticks around. And as you can see on this picture, his Chaos Warrior Skullcrusher didn't rally. He rolled 11, and they're almost off the table edge. His Chaos Warrior actually did kill my Lizardmen, and he reformed like that. And in this combat, I didn't do anything to him. He didn't do anything to me because he had to challenge me, and nothing happened. I passed my leadership test. Well, one of the Chameleon Kings managed to charge the Skullcrusher off the board. The other one sweep around his Chaos Lord to try to spit toothpicks on him and hopefully kill him. Just try to imagine the kind of frustration the Chaos Lord must feel. He is the greatest warrior of chaos, and all he has done for this whole game is running around trying to chase around some small lizard who just spit toothpicks at him. There's really no honorable way to do that. Well, on this flank I send up my Bastildon to block both his units from actually doing any charges, and my Saurus Warrior and Troglodon just backwards, and I position my Salamanders, they are in the flank, to lay down the Flame Template on the Chaos Warriors. And this is the damage. First I shoot laser cannon at him, I get it off at a miscast, so we cannot dispel it. My 2 Salamander lay down the breath template and they kill a lot of Chaos Warriors. And this is what he have remaining. Well, my Old Bloods managed to kill both his Skullcrushers, and so the Saurus Warrior are gonna face his general and try to take him out. His Chaos Knight champion didn't do any wound to my character this turn either, even though I failed fear test. He win by a banner, I break, and he didn't catches me. But it really didn't matter because for his turn 4 he just charged them off the board. His Chaos Warrior unit with his BSB in it slams into the flank of my Bastildon. Well, in Lizardmen Turn 5, my Bastillodon stick around, even though it lost, but I roll very low. Cold-blooded is awesome. I send my Saurus into the flank of his Chaos Warrior and my Salamanders into the rear of his Chaos Warriors. And I use my Troglodon to chef up his other Chaos Warrior to stop them from charging in and doing something I don't want them to do. And I move my BSB closer to my line. Well, on the other flank, the Saurus Warrior pushes up to face his Chaos Lord, and the Chameleons King give up on trying to kill him with Blowshot, so they just move closer to his Chaos Warrior to take some shots at them. And I don't have any magic, and shooting phase, I think I kill one Chaos Warrior or something like that, not anything to write home about. In this combat, none of us really do much to each other. I win thanks to static combat resolution, so he breaks, and one of my Salamander managed to capture him, and my Bastillodon slams into his Chaos Warriors. For Chaos turn 5, his general fails a charge on my Saurus Warrior and just stumbled forward a bit. In this combat, he did 1 wound to me, but my Bastillodon managed to kill his Exalted Hero, and I actually win this combat, but he sticks because he is steadfast. So for the Lizardmen turn 6, well, I have slid my Bastillodon down a bit after winning that combat, so I send in my Saurus Warrior and my Troglodon into that combat. Everything else just scuttle away to not die from panic or an overrun or something like that. My BSB stands around 12 inches from Saurus Warriors and the monsters if something would happen to them. But there was no dangers for them and they pretty much killed them outright. Well, this is the last picture I have of this game, and basically I charge in on my turn. I take a challenge with my general versus his general. None of us do anything to each other. He have Crown of Command and he sticks. For his turn 6, that's the only thing he have left, and none of our generals can do anything to each other, and he sticks again on a Leadership 9 stubborn test. So that's it for this game. It ended up being a big victory for the Lizardmen. I only lost some few chef unit and basically he lost his whole army. And that's it. If you like this video, feel free to subscribe or like this. And well, if you have any questions, just write them below and I will try to answer them as fast as I can. So that's it for me. I see you around.